Captain Alina Rivas adjusted the controls of her small exploration ship, Aurora's Edge, as it drifted through the silent expanse of Sector V. The stars stretched endlessly, a tapestry of cold white lights, and the hum of the ship's engines was the only sound she could hear. She had seen countless empty sectors like this one, worlds with nothing but dust and broken satellites, and yet something made her uneasy today. A small blinking light on the radar caught her attention. It was faint, almost too faint to notice. A signal. A voice, if it could be called that. It wasn't human, but it carried a strange urgency. A pattern of pulses repeated itself in the transmission, something that sounded almost pleading. Alina frowned. Starships did not plead. Starships did not beg for help. "Hello," she said into her communicator, her voice echoing slightly in the cockpit. "This is Captain Alina Rivas of Aurora's Edge. I read your signal. What are you?" The signal pulsed again, and this time it seemed clearer, more coherent. Words formed, though they were fragmented. "Human help core failing, alone please." Alina froze. A talking starship. That was impossible. Her mind raced. Perhaps it was some kind of AI distress program or a trap, but something in the tone it carried desperation, fear even. And that curiosity, that reckless spark humans carried in their veins, forced her hand. "All right," she whispered to herself. "Let's see what this is about." She set a course following the signal. Hours passed as her ship moved deeper into uncharted space. The signal grew stronger, pulsing through the hull and reverberating in her chest. Then she saw it. A massive vessel, ancient and broken, drifting like a corpse among the debris of old satellites and shattered planets. Its hull was scratched and scarred, lights flickering weakly like a dying heartbeat. Alina docked her ship with careful precision. The airlock hissed open, and she floated into the ship, her boots pressing softly against the metallic floor. The interior was dark, almost empty, but faint pulses of light glowed along the walls. She moved cautiously, her flashlight sweeping across corridors that were far larger than any human design she had seen. The scale of this starship was enormous, ancient beyond comprehension. "Hello," she called again, her voice echoing in the empty corridors. A soft hum responded, vibrating through the floor and walls. Then a voice, clear but trembling, spoke in broken syntax. "Human, you came. Finally, help." Alina's breath caught in her throat. She had never heard a starship speak before. It was alive. Somehow it was truly alive. What are you?" she asked, her voice steady despite her racing heart. Etherian core failing, alone need human." The words made her shiver. The starship had a name. And it wanted her help, but why a human? Alina touched the control panel nearby. The ship's systems were failing, warning lights blinking rapidly. It was alive, but only barely. "I can try," she said, "but I need more information." "Core unstable, cannot repair, only human guide." Alina frowned. She had faced dangerous situations before, but nothing like this. The ship was ancient, possibly older than the oldest records of human space travel. Its technology was unlike anything she had seen. She reached out and touched the ship's main console, feeling it pulse weakly under her fingers like a faint heartbeat. "All right, Etherian," she said. "Let's see what we can do." She spent hours working, connecting her portable diagnostic tools to the ship's systems. Sparks flew as the circuits struggled to come alive, and the hum of failing engines filled the corridors. Slowly, the ship began to respond, lights flickering on and screens activating, displaying strange alien symbols that shifted and moved as if alive. Human, intelligent, unlike others' trust. Alina felt a chill. It was as if the ship was looking at her, judging her, testing her. She smiled faintly. Humans had always been unpredictable, creative, and daring. That unpredictability, that spark of ingenuity, was often enough to survive where others failed. Hours turned into a day as Alina worked tirelessly. She repaired broken circuits, replaced failing conduits, and rerouted energy to stabilize the core. Etherian responded to each action, whispering guidance, warning her when a system might overload. Despite the fear in its voice, there was intelligence, reasoning, and even emotion. Core, unstable, risk high, but human capable. Alina's fingers danced across the panels. "I've never worked on anything like you before," she said, "but somehow I think we can do it." Finally, she initiated the partial revival sequence. The ship's engines hummed louder, lights brightened, and the air seemed to vibrate with energy. Etherian spoke, its voice now stronger, filled with clarity and depth. "Human, you did it. I feel alive again, thanks." Alina smiled, leaning against the console. "You're welcome, Etherian, but this is only the beginning." As the ship came back to life, it pulsed with a faint energy field that spread outward. Alina noticed it immediately. Something had been disturbed in the surrounding space. Tiny sensors on her suit detected multiple energy signatures converging on the location. Alien ships. Scouts, someone had noticed Etherian waking. Human danger, approaching. They want me for power. Alina's stomach tightened. She had expected danger, but this was faster than she anticipated. She activated her ship's communication array and sent a silent warning to the nearby human outpost, hoping they would receive it in time. "Human, core stable. Thanks to you, but they are coming, must hide." Alina scanned the ship. Etherian's massive engines were slowly coming online, but they were not yet fully operational. She had to make a decision. Stay and fight, or flee and risk leaving the ship vulnerable. Her hand hovered over the controls. Then she remembered the pleading voice, the faint desperation, the trust the ship had placed in her. She could not leave it. Humans did not leave behind those who trusted them. "All right, Etherian," she said, her voice steady. "We'll hide. And we'll figure out how to keep them from taking you." The ship hummed in agreement. Together, they worked to cloak its energy signature, rerouting power through hidden conduits and ancient shielding systems. The process was slow, delicate, and terrifying. Etherian whispered guidance, sharing knowledge lost for eons, while Alina applied human intuition and ingenuity to stabilize the systems. By the time the first alien scouts arrived, Etherian was almost invisible, blending into the void. The scouts hovered nearby, confused, scanning the area. Alina held her breath, watching through the ship's sensors. "Human clever, unlike any I have known," she smiled faintly. "That's what humans do." Hours passed. The scouts left, unable to locate the ancient ship. Alina and Etherian remained in silence, the only sounds the gentle hum of engines and the faint pulse of a starship's revived heartbeat. Finally, Alina allowed herself to relax. She floated in the corridor, staring at the endless stars through a window, thinking of what had just happened. She had discovered a living starship. She had saved it, and somehow she had earned its trust. But deep in her mind, a question lingered. Why did Etherian need a human? Why had it chosen her? And what exactly was its core capable of? Etherian's voice broke through her thoughts. "Human, with you, I can change everything." Alina's heart skipped a beat. The words were simple, but their meaning was vast, almost impossible to comprehend. Change everything in the galaxy. The thought was exhilarating and terrifying at the same time. She knew this was only the beginning. Somewhere out there, other forces were aware of Etherian's revival, and soon the galaxy would take notice of a human and a starship that could change everything. Alina took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the responsibility, but also the thrill. Humans had always faced impossible odds, and somehow they always found a way. "All right, Etherian," she said, her voice firm. "Let's see what we can do together." And for the first time in centuries, the ancient starship hummed with hope, ready to awaken fully, with a human at its side. Alina Rivas floated through the corridors of Etherian, marveling at the vastness of the ancient starship. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. The walls pulsed faintly, as if the ship itself had a heartbeat. Strange symbols flickered across consoles, moving and shifting as though alive. Etherian's intelligence was awakening, and it relied on her guidance to stabilize its systems. Human, my systems are waking, but still fragile, core unstable. Alina nodded, studying a console that displayed incomprehensible alien schematics. We'll fix it, Etherian. We'll stabilize you completely, but you'll have to tell me what you are and why you need me. The ship hummed thoughtfully. I am Etherian, created by a civilization now extinct. Weapon protector, core can control stellar energy, meant to defend worlds, abandoned. Left alone, only human can guide. Elena's eyes widened. A starship capable of controlling stellar energy. That was more than technology, that was a force of nature, and they abandoned it. Why me, she asked. Why a human? Humans, unpredictable, creative, capable of thinking beyond logic. I can trust you, no other species. The words sent a thrill through her chest. Humans had always survived because of creativity and courage, qualities no alien race could fully anticipate. Now, her ingenuity would be tested in ways she could not yet imagine. For the next several hours, Alina worked tirelessly. She repaired damaged conduits, replaced failing power cores, and rerouted energy through the ship's ancient systems. Etherian guided her, but its language was still fragmented, requiring her to interpret its intentions. Together, they became a team, human intuition complemented by ancient alien intelligence. Core energy fluctuating, instability high, risk severe. Human, proceed. Alina took a deep breath and began the delicate process of stabilizing the ship's main core. Every movement was critical. One wrong calculation, one misaligned conduit, and the entire ship could collapse. Sparks flew from the panels, and the hum of energy grew louder with every adjustment. Hours passed. Slowly, Etherian responded. Its systems began to stabilize. Lights glowed steadily, engines hummed at full capacity, and the ship's artificial consciousness grew stronger. Human, stabilization successful, my awareness expanding. Alina smiled, wiping sweat from her forehead. Good, we're not done yet. We still need to unlock your full potential. Etherian's voice deepened, resonant now, filled with intelligence and a hint of emotion. Human, together, we can achieve what none have before: protect worlds, defend life, create balance. Before Alina could reply, the sensors on Etherian's bridge flickered. Multiple energy signatures approached alien ships. Scouts, small but fast, were converging on their location. The moment they had feared had arrived. Human, they know I am alive. Danger, must hide. Alina's mind raced. These alien factions were not hostile yet. They were curious, cautious, and opportunistic. But curiosity could easily turn to aggression when faced with a power like Etherian's. We need to cloak your energy signature, Alina said. I'll work with your systems. Together, we can make them think you're gone. The process was slow and complex. Alina rerouted power through hidden conduits, layered shield arrays, and ancient stealth protocols. Etherian whispered guidance, sharing knowledge of tactics long lost to the galaxy. Human, clever, unlike any I have known. Adaptation remarkable. Alina smiled faintly. That's what humans do. We adapt. Hours passed. The alien scouts circled nearby, unable to detect the massive starship. Alina floated in the corridor, exhausted but exhilarated. Etherian systems were almost fully restored. The ship was alive, thinking, and aware. Human, I sense potential. Core can achieve balance, energy controlled. I can be a force for protection only with you. Alina's heart raced. The possibilities were immense, almost unimaginable. Etherian's core could manipulate stellar energy. Entire planets could be shielded from danger. Natural disasters could be prevented. Even wars could be deterred without firing a single weapon. Then we'll make it happen, she said firmly. We'll use your power to protect, not destroy. Etherian hummed softly, almost like a purr of approval. Human, together, we will change the galaxy, not through fear, but through wisdom and creativity. Alina worked through the night. She studied the Starship systems, learning how to interface with its ancient technology. Slowly, a bond formed between human and Starship, a partnership built on trust and mutual respect. Human, core now stable, energy flow optimal. I can feel universe responding, possibilities endless. Elena's eyes widened. The possibilities are endless, but so are the dangers. Others will come. They will want this power. I know, human, but they will not predict your methods. Humans, creative, unpredictable, capable of solutions no other species can imagine. The words resonated with her. Humans had always survived by thinking differently, by using ingenuity rather than brute force. And now, that very ingenuity was the key to guiding Etherian. Suddenly, the ship shuddered. Sensors detected a massive object approaching, a large alien fleet far larger than the scouts. Their intentions were unknown, but their size and coordination suggested they were here for Etherian's power. Elena took a deep breath. We need a plan. You're powerful, but we can't just confront them. We need to outsmart them. Human, I trust you. We can create solutions. Combine your logic with my power, strategy, unpredictability. Over the next several hours, Elena and Etherian devised a plan. They would use the Starship systems to create a temporary illusion of presence, appearing in multiple locations at once, confusing sensors, and delaying the alien fleet's response. They would manipulate energy readings to suggest that the ship was damaged and vulnerable, baiting the aliens into hesitation. Human, your creativity essential, cannot predict, cannot counter. Elena smiled, feeling the thrill of possibility. Humans had always thrived in impossible situations, and now the survival of an entire starship depended on her ingenuity. As the alien fleet entered the sector, the plan went into action. Etherian projected false energy signatures, creating holographic duplicates of itself. Alien sensors flickered and blinked, unable to distinguish reality from illusion. Ships maneuvered, confused and cautious, while Elena directed Etherian's power through subtle manipulations that no alien race could anticipate. Human, this is extraordinary. I have never seen such ingenuity. Elena felt a surge of pride. She had trusted her instincts, relied on human creativity, and together they had outsmarted a fleet without firing a shot. Hours later, the alien fleet withdrew, unable to locate the real Etherian. Elena floated in the bridge corridor, exhausted but exhilarated. The starship was safe, for now, but she knew this was only the beginning. Human, you have taught me something essential: creativity, unpredictability, wisdom. I am learning faster than I expected. Elena nodded, her thoughts racing. The galaxy would soon realize the power of Etherian, and when that happened, every species would want it. Humans would need to be ready, not just for defense, but to guide the ship in ways that no alien race could comprehend. Human, we can protect worlds, prevent disasters, achieve balance, only with you together. Elena smiled. Then we'll do it, Etherian. Together we'll protect the galaxy without violence. We'll use intelligence, creativity, and foresight. Etherian hummed softly, its systems glowing with renewed energy. For the first time in centuries, the ancient starship was fully awake, aware, and alive. And it had chosen a human to guide it. As the stars stretched endlessly outside, Elena felt a thrill of excitement. Humans had always survived by thinking differently, by finding solutions where others saw only obstacles. Now that ingenuity had awakened a force capable of shaping the galaxy itself. But somewhere in the darkness, other forces were stirring. Ancient eyes watched the revival of Etherian, waiting for the right moment. The galaxy was beginning to notice a new power rising, and with it, the reputation of humans as the most unpredictable, creative, and brilliant species. Human, the journey has just begun. Together, we will awaken possibilities no one else can. Elena took a deep breath, her hand resting on the console. The challenge ahead was immense, but so was the potential. With Etherian fully awakened and guided by human creativity, they could change the course of history. And for the first time, she truly understood what the starship had meant. With a human, it could change everything. The stars stretched endlessly around Etherian as it floated silently in the remote sector, its engines pulsing gently like a heartbeat. Captain Alina Rivas stood on the bridge, staring at the vast expanse of space. The starship had been fully revived, its core stable, its consciousness alive and intelligent. Together, they had outsmarted alien scouts and evaded entire fleets. But the galaxy was vast, and their actions had not gone unnoticed. "Energy readings are rising," Alina said, scanning the displays. "Several fleets are converging on this sector. They've learned we exist." "Human, I sense them, seeking power. They do not understand, they cannot predict," Alina nodded. "Then we won't give them a chance to understand. We'll protect ourselves and the planets nearby without violence." Etherian's voice, now rich and resonant, hummed with agreement. "Human, together, we will find a solution, one they cannot anticipate." The approaching fleets were massive, dozens of ships moving in formation, scanning for the source of the starship's unusual energy signature. Every alien race that knew of Etherian wanted its power. And yet, Alina refused to see the starship as a weapon. It was a protector. It was a force of balance. Alina floated to the control panel, her fingers dancing over the interface. "Etherian, let's show them what humans can do. We'll use your systems, but we'll guide them in ways no one else could think of. Human, your creativity essential, your methods unpredictable. I am ready." Hours passed as they prepared. Alina analyzed alien fleet tactics, predicting their movements based on patterns and probabilities. Etherian processed her strategies and translated them into energy flows and spatial distortions. The starship's core glowed brightly, a controlled brilliance that radiated power across the void. "Human, they are near approaching, energy shields ready." Alina smiled faintly. "Then let's begin. Remember, we do this without harming anyone. We only protect and control the battlefield." As the first alien ships entered range, Etherian activated its systems. A brilliant pulse radiated from its core, bending energy across the sector. The pulse created illusions, multiple copies of the starship appearing in different locations, confusing sensors and scanners. Alien fleets hesitated, scanning the region, unable to determine which vessel was real. "Human, your strategy works. They cannot anticipate." Alina felt a surge of pride. Humans had always survived because they thought differently, acted unpredictably, and solved impossible problems. Now, that very creativity was saving countless lives without a single shot being fired. The fleets shifted, attempting to surround Etherian. Alina anticipated their moves, guiding the ship's energy flows to create invisible barriers, rerouting power to create temporary zones of safety around inhabited planets. The aliens were powerful, but they could not comprehend the subtlety of human ingenuity combined with the ancient intelligence of Etherian. "Human, your mind. Remarkable, your methods. Beyond logic, the galaxy sees now humans are unique." Alina smiled, keeping her focus. "We're not done yet. We need to show them what balance really means." Using Etherian's core, Alina manipulated stellar energy to create controlled, miniature stellar flares. These flares acted as natural barriers, blocking paths and creating false threats that forced the fleets to reposition. No ships were damaged, yet the aliens were effectively contained. Every movement was calculated, every flow of energy precise, guided by human intuition and ingenuity. Human, efficiency, perfect. No destruction, protection achieved, extraordinary. Hours turned into a tense standoff. The alien fleets realized they could not breach the defenses. Each attempt to approach Etherian was countered by subtle manipulations of space, energy, and gravity. They were trapped by a force they could not understand, guided not by brute strength, but by intelligence, creativity, and empathy. Alina floated to the center console, her eyes scanning the energy grids. Etherian, we can't keep them distracted forever. We need a final move, a demonstration of power and restraint, something that shows humans and the galaxy that this is not a weapon of war but a protector. Human, I understand, proposal, brilliant, I am ready. Together they activated the core in a controlled burst, creating a radiant energy dome that encompassed the nearby planets. The dome was visible across the sector, shimmering with controlled stellar energy. It was powerful, awe-inspiring, and utterly harmless. The planets inside were shielded from harm, and the alien fleets were forced to observe. Human, the galaxy witnesses, your ingenuity, humans capable, beyond expectation. Alina allowed herself a small smile. They'll understand humans protect, not destroy. Our strength is in our minds, our creativity, and our ethics. That's what makes us different. The alien fleets, unable to challenge the demonstration, withdrew. Their leaders sent messages of diplomacy, fear, and awe, acknowledging the humans and the living starship as a force beyond conventional power. Human, they respect, they fear, they cannot comprehend. Humans are unique. Alina floated in the bridge, exhausted but exhilarated. Etherian systems glowed steadily, its consciousness fully awakened. They had achieved something extraordinary, a galaxy-wide demonstration of power and wisdom, all without violence. Human together, we have protected, achieved balance. The galaxy sees now humans and I can shape the future, Alina nodded. Yes, but this is only the beginning. The galaxy will watch us now. Others will test us, but they cannot predict humans. They cannot predict Etherian. And together, we can protect more worlds than anyone else could imagine. Etherian hummed, a low, harmonious vibration that filled the corridors. Its core radiated calm energy, a stark contrast to the chaos that might have occurred if others tried to seize it by force. Alina floated to the viewport, staring at the stars. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and possibilities, but for the first time she felt a profound sense of hope. Human, I trust you. Together, we can awaken possibilities, protect civilizations, prevent disasters, create harmony. Alina smiled faintly. Then let's do it, Etherian. Together we'll protect life, not destroy it. We'll show the galaxy what humans are capable of. Weeks passed as humans and Etherian traveled together. They shielded planets from natural disasters, rerouted asteroid paths, and prevented energy crises. Each action was a demonstration of human ingenuity paired with Etherian's immense power. Word spread across the galaxy. A human and a living starship were rewriting the rules of power and protection. Human, I am learning. Humans, unpredictable, creative, capable of solutions no other species can imagine. I am proud. Alina chuckled softly. You'll learn more than you realize, Etherian. Humans always surprise themselves and everyone else. One day, while scanning a distant sector, Etherian detected something unusual, an ancient signal, faint and deliberate, coming from deep space. Its origin predated even Etherian itself. Human, this signal, ancient, powerful, waiting, aware, observing, we are not alone. Alina's heart raced. Another intelligence, older than you, it's waiting, watching, maybe testing us. Human, together, we are ready. With your creativity, my power, we can face anything. Alina smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility and excitement. Humanity had survived against impossible odds, thrived in situations no one else could navigate, and now they were on the brink of a new chapter. With Etherian as their ally, they had become a force of protection, a beacon of ingenuity, and a symbol of hope. Human, the galaxy will remember together. Humans and Etherian extraordinary. As the stars stretched endlessly around them, Alina and Etherian prepared to face whatever lay ahead. The galaxy had never seen anything like this. a living starship guided by human creativity, intelligence, and morality, a force that could change worlds without destroying them. And somewhere, deep in the unknown, another ancient intelligence waited, curious and observant. The journey had just begun. Elena took a deep breath, resting her hand on the console. Let's show them, Etherian. Let's show the galaxy what humans can do. The starship hummed, radiating controlled power. Together, human and starship were ready to become the galaxy's most powerful weapon, not through violence, but through creativity, protection, and the unpredictable brilliance of humanity. The stars stretched endlessly, and for the first time, the galaxy truly saw what humans were capable of.